Hello everyone, welcome to Manga Goblin, and hello if you just joined me today, and welcome back if you're returning. Today we're going to talk about Pumpkin Night. Pumpkin Night is a story of revenge. It is an extremely gory story, and it's an extremely vicious story of what happens to someone when you bully someone too far. I am going to put a warning here. This manga is extremely gory. It's extremely visceral. The artist, Taniguchi Seima, is fantastic. His gore work, his illustrations are really on point for the gore. Now, I'm not a big fan of gore, but I really do enjoy Pumpkin Night simply for its visceral nature. There are 51 chapters, so I will be giving it a score. And the author is Honozako Masaya. It was originally published by Line Manga 1+ and Takeshobo volumes 1 to 2. It's serialized in webcomic Gamma by Takeshobo. There are 5 volumes so far. Right, this is I don't know whether it's a trope or it uses a lot of slasher movie type things. Now, Nanako, the central character, which changes a bit later on and then returns to Nanako a bit later on, is a sort of Michael Myers-esque character. She will deform herself to achieve goals. She will do anything for her revenge. To say that this manga is disturbing in some ways is an understatement. It's certainly not for the faint of heart and not for the faint of stomach. It is something that is, as I've described, very visceral, very gory, and it is something that probably you shouldn't read in one sitting, simply because of the amount of gore, the amount of violence in it. There are a lot of meme scanlations out there, unfortunately, so if you can avoid the meme ones and just try and find other ones, that's a little better, because the way that he makes Nanako talk in the meme translations is rather annoying, because she doesn't sound like that in the original Japanese. Nanako is probably the victim of her own looks and her own style. She never gives in to the bullying. Even when she's pushed into being deformed, she simply goes out for vengeance. There is a prequel called Pumpkin Night Guardian with Naoko's origins, which we will look at in another video. This is, it's not something that can be recommended to someone who likes, for example, a very easygoing story. It's very harsh, it's very heavy in its tone and its content. Now, Pumpkin Night will make you think about certain things, such as revenge, such as how far is someone willing to go. Do bystanders really matter in the, in a pursuit of said revenge? Teenagers can be overly cruel. If you've been bullied, if you've faced adversity, you know that sometimes you really want to stop people from bullying you, and there are times when bullies do go too far and have resulted in people being harmed. But this story with Naoko, and later on with the male character who takes over for a while before Naoko returns, is driven by such vengeance that they can't stop regardless of what happens. Naoko herself is an interesting character simply because of her determination. The male protagonist does ultimately say that he was in love with Naoko before, and I can't really show much of the images of the manga itself, simply because it's so gory, it's so bloody. I mean, when I was looking for pictures of the characters, or such as Kayucha, it's very hard to place them I will try and find some, but it's so, as I've said, visceral and gory that it's very hard. Kachuya and Naoko are sort of made for each other in some way, and although Kayuka is spurred into action by Naoko's apparent death, when she returns, I think he's just gone. He's just completely gone. The drawings of Naoko make her look like a yandere in the covers, and some of those pictures for adverts for Pumpkin Night, she's not really a yandere, not really at all. She's more of a Michael Myers, Freddy Krueger, Jason type character, and a lot of people have cosplayed as Naoko. I mean, it's quite interesting to see how much love that such gory manga has got. And yeah, this one was on my list to review. Now, as it's got 50 chapters, would I recommend it? Yes and no. This is one of the ones that I did have a very hard time grading on my scale, simply because it's not something that you can read in, it's not something you can binge in one go. It's certainly a compelling and interesting story. It's certainly very well drawn. It's certainly well, you know, it's not something that's dull for a moment, let's say. There are a lot of memey characters in it. For example, the mayor is obviously a nod to a certain politician. The boy characters that, you know, for example, the other bullies are obvious stereotypes. You've got the blonde haired, for example, playing type boy. You've got the jock. You've got the spoiled rich girl, and you've got the girl that's out of touch with reality. Don't get attached to anyone, not really. Even Naoko faces death before her return, and Kayuga, well, who can tell if he will die? Again, I can't really give it a proper score. I will say this: if you are a fan of the serial killer genre, such as in movies, such as in books, such as that sort of thing, certainly give it a read. On my scale, you see, because I can't and can recommend it, I can only give it 2.5, simply because of that fact. It's certainly something that, I can't say I enjoyed it, but it's something that I felt compelled once started to read to conclusion. I want to see Naoko and Kayuga. I want to see if they finally achieve vengeance. I want to see if they end up happy together. So yeah. Again, it is very hard to score, and because it's, you know, I'm not saying that it's terrible by giving it 2 out of 5. I'm giving it that simply because it's not going to be for everyone. I couldn't certainly binge it in one go. It's something that I have to read chapter by chapter and wait, simply because of how gory and visceral it is. And I'm not a fan of body horror. I'm not a fan of gore, although I've read certain ones. So yeah, check it out if you like those sort of things. Again, 2.5 out of 5. Do take care, everyone. Thank you everyone for watching, and bye bye.